Okay, so I'm going to cut down a tree. Got my chainsaw. I'll show you a couple things about it before I start. Here's the chain. This is called the bar. The chain has these little teeth on top that are going to actually tear away the little pieces of wood as it goes really fast. One of the good things about the chainsaw is it's got a safety feature. If my hand tries to go towards the bar, this little thing here not only gets in the way of my hand going, but also if you go like that, it locks the chain, stops it pretty instantly. So that's a nice feature. Also, I'll show you in a second, when I start it up and I've got the engine idling, there's a special mechanism in here called a centrifugal clutch. The clutch allows the chain to sit still while the engine is able to run. Same way when you sit at the stoplight in your car, you're not pressing on the gas, the car doesn't go until you let go of the brakes and step on the gas. Okay? Now I'm going to cut down this dead tree over here, and I want it to fall basically that way. I want it to fall away from us, away from the camera, down the hill into there. The way to direct the fall of the tree, the good thing is, the tree is nice and straight. It's a really straight tree, and it's there's no lean to it. So if I do my notch correctly on the tree, it should fall in the direction I'm planning. Okay, so I'll cut a wedge out of the tree here, going this way, like a wedge where you've got a flat bottom and an angle like this. I'll cut that about halfway through the tree, and then I'll come from the back of the tree and cut. And when it hits that wedge, it should break the tree loose and let it fall in the direction of the wedge cut. Okay, so let's try that now. Start up the saw. Right there you can see the engine running, but the chain's sitting still. When I give it gas, away it goes. Bring the camera over this way for a second and take a look at the wedge, because I think from that angle you can't really see it. Look at this wedge right here so you can see how it's cut. And I'll show you where I'll make the last cut to actually fell the tree. Alright, get a good view of it there. Okay, so you can see the wedge is cut. And I'm not ready to cut just yet, but I will cut right about here. I want my cut from the back to come in right about this level right here. And somewhere when the chainsaw gets to about this point where my hand is, then this will become like a hinge. It'll start to fall that way, assuming it all goes as planned. Okay, so let's see that happen. You can see that when it started to fall, it was a good idea for me to get out of the way, and you can see it didn't just fall exactly where I planned. It fell a little bit off to the side. So that's a great when it starts to go, it's a great idea to move out of the way and let it go, because it's going to come down with a lot of weight. Now, of course, at this point, we need to cut it up in smaller pieces and stuff like that, but we'll skip that for today. But anyhow, that's how you cut down a tree.